Hello, I'm General Waffles of the Breakfast Brigade. Today I'm bringing you a full Damage Malfurion build. It's an alternative build that focuses on Malfurion being able to put out as much damage as possible with that Moonfire, with those roots. And you really want to make sure that you're just picking up all the damage that you can. You still have some healing effects, like for instance you take the ability where Moonfire reduces the mana cost for your regrowth, level 1. Eventually, by level 16, you're going to be able to have Moonfire on about a half a second cooldown. So the mana cost for healing is like nothing. Mana problems are a big deal in the early game with this build, but late game, you don't have too many mana problems. I am in a 3 group where I'm with Tassadar and Leoric, the Skeleton King. I told them that I was picking Damage Malfurion, and I kind of figured that they were going to take, Rhaegar. But I ended up switching to Tassadar, and now we don't really have a good heal. Because I'm not building for healing. Now, the way to make this build viable and good is if you were to take the other ultimate, not Twilight Dream. But I take Twilight Dream because, well, committed. I'm committed to the build. That's all there is to it. I'm committed to dealing that deeps. Plus, it's really, really strong with Gazlowe if you coordinate it. Unfortunately, it's a spoiler, that doesn't happen. He does pick up the Gravo Bomb. The little synergy with that is, one, Gazlowe gets everybody in his Gravo Bomb combo, and then you walk up and you silence everybody so that your team can finish him off. Part 2, Malfurion walks in and silences everybody, and it slows them at level 20, and then Gazlowe can get off a very easy Gravo Bomb because people can't jump away from it. That's the synergy between Damage, Malfurion, Twilight Dream in general, and Gazlowe with his Gravo Bomb. The synergy, although it's possible in this game, just doesn't happen. You can just see me. It's 6 casts of Moonfire to have a free heal. And I try to count it out. You don't have to hit a hero, you just have to hit an enemy. Now, poor Kel'Thas just walks down here all by himself. And he goes down. And now I'm just trying to reposition to make sure I'm in a good position. Throwing down my Moonfires as soon as they're available. With mana, it's an issue. I can't innervate myself. So I just kind of have to rely on my sustain, which is really not good at this level. Your mana sustain never becomes better, really. You just have lower costing abilities. Here, pick up Vengeful Roots. It spawns a Treant. It adds damage. The Treant's good anyway because it can block skill shots, and you can heal it so it can tank stuff. But I'm picking up because damage. You need that damage. I want that damage. And I recall for 2 reasons. One, because this business is going on top. Asmodon and, well, a bunch of people are just pushing top. They're getting that XP, taking down our towers, and I want them to stop that. Our team has 100% secured this Skull Golem. We're going to get a ton of skulls, so I'm just trying to deter Asmodon as much as humanly possible. Yeah. Once you get that free heal, you feel like you almost need to use it. But now it's up to me to just kind of clean this up. Oh, man. Asmodon is making it very difficult, though. The golems will be spawning. We do have a 92 skull golem, which would be more impressive if it wasn't the first golem of the match. I heal for the mana. I take the Moonwell for the mana. Nothing else, really. And now just trying to go down and help the team, catch them in a route, and Tassadar is able to just kind of scurry away. You're just throwing out these Moonfires, and now I ping to help our golem so we can actually push with it. They have an 8 skull golem. It's not going to do much. We have Sylvanas. I mean, we are pretty set up. There, Joanna. My roots would not have mattered because she did have that unstoppable going for her. But our golem is able to just move in here and just start wrecking. Just doing all the damage. I'm trying to keep people up, casting Moonfire to lower my healing cooldown. And now I'm just putting the treants in there to try to distract these golems. But they don't fall for it. They're too smart. Sylvanas is able to make sure the fort doesn't fire at least. And our golem is going to do a whole lot of damage to their fort. Meanwhile, back at the base, we are able to keep it up thanks to the mules. I did pick up Mule. One, because it's incredibly good on this map, and two, because the other options for you aren't really that good. Like, I mean, you could take Strangling Vines, but like, it's not that great. The Mule is too good to pass up. And I did sort of forsake the build in a way, I guess, by not doing 100% even more damage, but I don't use the roots for the damage. I use the Moonfire for the damage. And use the Twilight Dream for the damage. The roots are to make sure that they can't horribly murder you, which they love to do. Because Malfurion is fairly squishy. And this map's really good for the Mule because when the golem pushes up, you can put the Mule behind the fort or the towers, and it'll heal it while the golem's trying to do stuff. And as you can see, we have a completely healed front line here. I sent a Mule up top just to repair the wall, because why not? Whole team moving down now. Thanks to Gazlo and Sylvanas, we're able to just move in here and take this fort without any problems. Enemy team not wanting us to do that, though, is able to push us out. Leoric does go down to the might of the entire enemy team, and we are forced to back up a bit. Still sticking around, doing some damage whenever we can to the fort, but not really committing to too much. Throwing down the roots just to keep the fort occupied still and to put out a little bit of crowd control and damage. Keeping the healing flowing, the really low cost healing, and I'm moving back because mines are spawning, and I do want full health and mana going into the mines. Gazlo unfortunately falls, but we still have a slight level advantage, and we're able to get initiative on the mines, so that's really good. Here at top with Sylvanas, I'm able to take those out. Crusader moving up to try to stop us, and I just want to walk away from her, kind of. Our team gives a little bit of chase. I pick up that Twilight Dream. I also think it's very good to synergize with Sylvanas, the extra silence. Now moving up, trying to do whatever I can to body block this Asmodon to make sure he goes down. Throw down the silence so Kel'Thas can't do too much. And Leoric is chasing him down. My Moonfire will be able to take him down. Now, put my healing on the Skeleton King to make sure that he's going to stay full health throughout this fight. Gazlo combo coming down to secure that Rhaegar kill. He is not able to get the heals off that he needs. And now we're just kind of trying to get the rest of these skulls. Leoric chasing both their tanks out of the mines and keeping them there. And Leoric just kind of pushing the lanes now to make sure that we can get that XP. Gazlo and I are more than enough to take this out, especially with Tassadar coming in for that extra damage. And we are able to get a giant golem yet again. Now, this build is more of a late game build. You're not really going to be seeing anything significant till you hit level 16. Once you hit level 16 and your Moonfire starts doing a ton of damage and has almost no cooldown, you're going to just see your damage skyrocket. It's not going to be assassin levels. It's not going to be that high. But it'll be up there. I promise. You will do an amount of damage. our team unfortunately getting routed by the enemy team, and we're not really able to do anything about that. Our push is a little bit muted because of this, and my Mule did decide to heal a wall over healing the turret. Yeah, I don't know. He did eventually heal the turret, but still annoying. Yeah, this build, you just want to make sure you stay safe and you're just kind of spamming your spells. Like, once you get the cooldown reduction on your Moonfire, you can spam it as much as you want, and then by spamming that, your heal doesn't cost anything, and you're able to just use that whenever you want. The Mule is able to rebuild this tower and put some ammo back into it. Gazlo picking up that middle mercenary camp. We are definitely favored right now. We have the potential, and we have the combos, we have the initiative, we have the giant golem that's pushed, and we have 2 mules, so our bases are really healthy. However, they still have their scary late game. Now, Kel'Thas is going to be the key for them coming back in this game, because his late game is stupid good. Johanna, some of the best late game in the game. Rhaegar working so well with that, but right now they're just going down. We're just pile driving right through them, and this is the kind of map that you don't want that to happen to you on, because once an enemy team gains some sort of big momentum or big push, it's hard to come back from it. Now, here you can see how having the other ultimate would be really good, because our team would be alive instead of dead. But Twilight Dream has been doing some stuff. Ended up securing a kill. Secure a kill. No, we've stayed far too long, and they are able to get some experience off of us in our deaths. I've been mostly... I get a lot of complaints in this match because... Sylvanas didn't think I was healing anyone because I wasn't healing her. I've been healing Leoric because he's been in the front line. Yeah, poor Sylvanas. She's so squishy that healing her is not my major priority at all. Major priority is mostly keeping myself alive by being in a good position. These mules... MVPs of the team. Well, I'm about to hit that level 16, and that's where this build basically bottoms. It tops out here. Tops off, whatever you want to say. There's not really a point in the build after this where you get stronger. Like level 20, it's like, you don't get that much. You don't get very good stuff. Yeah, Healing Malfurion gets pretty good stuff, but this one, no. Here we actually were able to catch Kel'Thas off, and I'm able to silence everybody. Johanna being affected by that, the follow-up silence, really messing with her ability to crowd control us. Unfortunately, they're so thick, it's hard for us to actually do anything to them. Rhaegar has been more than enough to keep them alive. We are able to body block him out of there, though. And now we have free reign of the mines. Those mules still up top doing work. Well, we're spreading out trying to get these rest of these skulls. And it looks like we're going to, yet again, have a large golem. Alright, now for the final part of this build. The big thing has finally come. Every time that you cast Moonfire, it reduces the cooldown and increases the damage. This stacks up to 3 times. The cooldown eventually becomes 0.5 seconds. I mean, I don't have to tell people why that's so good. I mean, it's a phenomenal ability. You just kind of walk in and you keep AoEing them every half second. Yeah, It has the problem of being sustained damage rather than burst damage. Malfurion, he's not really meant for damage in general, but he doesn't have any burst damage. I mean, the only burst damage you really have is from that Twilight Dream, and that's still not very much. Now, the mules will be able to keep our fort alive still. Tassadar down there giving shields to the fort to make sure it just doesn't take very much damage. And our team is just moving up to push against their mercenaries, picking up mercenaries. We should have been pushing with our golem, but we didn't. We have a very decisive level advantage, 17 to 15. We haven't lost a single fort. Both our forts are at full health. I mean, things are looking real good. It's going to take a lot for this game to go wrong. But with Damage Malfurion, you never know. It's not easy to close out a game, I think. Unless your team is kind of built for it, and our team kind of isn't. Johanna just moving in to take that. We're just harassing her. There's really not a lot for us to do except for harass people. Let's put the mule up there to make sure that fort stays at full health. And now we're just kind of pushing bottom again. It's not too much for us to do. It's hard for us to actually move into them. Here I move in. I'm hoping that Gazlo follows me up, but he ends up not. And they're able to just kind of walk away and heal. And this is the problem with trying to run something like that in quick match, which this game was in, is because people don't realize when they should try to like follow an initiation or how to do things, but our combos aren't working out as well as they could be, and we are able to get picked off. We only took down Muradin. And now Kel'Thas has become his true self and is raining death, purging people by fire. It's not good. Leoric spawns right in front of the entire enemy team. I don't know where the last person is. Muradin's dead, but he ends up just being able to ghost walk out of there. Asmodon's coming up now. And I'm about to respawn. We just need to group up. Asmodon's just putting on a lot of pressure on that top fort. However, the mule is there, the hero, to save the day and make sure that we don't lose any structures. Because losing structures is bad. Now the mines are up, and we're in a great position again to get initiative on the mines. We have been phenomenal at that this game. We've been able to actually spread out and take a bunch of skulls and get giant golems. Here now it's fairly easy to take these camps now by myself as Malfurion. Before it's kind of tricky. You basically need somebody with you. Gazlo gets jumped though, and I thought that I cast E, but I ended up casting W. We're not able to secure the kill on Kel'Thas. He's able to get brought right back up because of Rhaegar, and now Johanna is just chasing me down with Sylvana. She goes down, but I stay alive. And now I'm just forced to retreat. As mount up and run. Leoric is still in there, doing ghost stuff. Tassadar is pushing bottom, and I don't really have too much I can do. So I end up going up top. For the first time in this game, we actually have a significant problem. The enemy team is getting a 40 skull golem, the biggest golem they've gotten so far. And we don't even have all of our heroes up. Sylvana's still dead for 7 seconds. She'll be respawning shortly before the golem spawn. But we can still move in to take this camp. And I really want to make sure these siege minions can help us take down this golem. Because not losing any forts is a pretty good deal. Tassadar was attacked by the enemy team, but is able to scurry away. We're able to pick up these siege minions a little late, but a little late than never. The Mules will keep this alive with the Tassadar shields. He's at very little health, but the enemy team is back to defend against our Golem, as it is bigger, and we have pushed significantly further with it. Tassadar almost going down to the roots of the Golem. The Siege Camp helping out a good deal with this, and my Moonfires raining down some damage. At this level, none of the things are really that good. Bolto Storm is probably the best, but this one's more damage and it's a slow. So I had to take it. This build isn't about having the best build or the most efficient build. It's just a fun build. It's just a fun little thing. I wouldn't recommend doing it in a pug setting like I have, but you can actually get like some friends together and play this. You can put it to a lot of good use if you ran like a double support comp. And that's really where you want to run this build, if at all. Also, being able to take advantage of your AoE silence is really good. So in like a combo setting, like with Gazlo and with Uther and Zagara and Zeratul, it's really good to synergize with them, because they can all set up stuff. Also Crusader. But here, in this game, I've peaked, I've reached it, and now all I gotta do is just make sure I can maintain it. Try to keep Leorica's alive as long as possible, keep the Mules flowing, keep the damage output going. Here, just trying not to stand in that Phoenix, trying to keep Leoric healthy, but it is very difficult, and I end up getting taken down before I'm able to do anything meaningful. I was trying to stay in a position where I could actually fight the enemy, or I could actually use my ultimate to great effect, but the moment didn't come fast enough and the crowd control was too much for me. Kel'Thas just utterly destroying our team with his damage. I mean, Johanna being the perfect front line for them, and Sylvanas, she's just barely able to skirt out of there, but Malfurion doesn't want any part of that. The dunk is enough to secure. Murden not really doing much, just taking that damage. We do have catapults pushing their core at the top, but with them all up and us all down, there's not too much we can rely on with that to help us out. Here we're able to get some skulls in the Mind Sink to Tassadar, but it looks like he is going to fall to the power of Kel'Thas. Azmodan finally moving up. We didn't even get to take down their shields, so the push was kind of fruitless. It didn't cost us anything. And we've kind of been put in a position where we kind of need to do something drastic to win. This map is perfect for that, though, of doing stupid-ass things. Like, one of the things that we could do is just go all in and push while they're in the mines, which is probably the right choice. Their late game completely destroys ours. I mean, Damage Malfurion's good, but if you just burst him down, he doesn't do anything. Problem with sustained damage. Yeah. I really wanted this, but the enemy team does gather around to stop us, and we're forced to retreat. Gazlo losing over 50% of his health just from that one attack. Things are looking bad. Now, what we should have done is just group top and pushed, but even though our team talked about it, we're not really doing that. We don't have the health to sustain that kind of thing. So we move back to defend, and for the first time we have to defend a golem, not by choice, but by necessity. The Mule is helping a lot to keep this up, along with that Tassadar shielding, but is it going to be enough? No, it's not. The enemy team is moving in to push us out, and we are being just forced to defend, being pushed further and further back into our base. Our golem doesn't accomplish really anything. It gets taken out by Azmodan. Enemy team completely grouped up here, ready to push down everything we have. and we're just doing whatever we can to stay away, but Kel'Thas is just destroying us. His damage output is too much for us to handle, and Johanna is making sure that we take it. I end up silencing all of them, able to walk away, but we're not really able to make anything happen with the silence. Sylvanas gets taken down by the Golem and Malfurion. I couldn't heal Tassadar in time, and he goes down. And now I'm just trying to stay in this, to do what I can. But Kel'Thas blinks out, and there's no one for me to attack. Their Golem got up to our core, and our big advantage that we had is completely gone. We don't really have any advantages right now. I'm able to stay back and keep doing that constant damage at least. And the blame game is starting to come out a little bit. That's okay. You're kind of damaging your team by picking this build. I actually go down from that. I didn't think that that was enough to kill me, but it was. It was. And now I'm dead. And we're really strung out. We don't have a shield on our core. It's at 58%. The enemy team is not stopping this push. They are not letting us alone. Kel'Thas able to blink out of there again. I do think that's an ability that could be nerfed a little bit in the cooldown, in the blink. Either way, you can see I've done a fairly good amount of damage and a fair amount of healing. Like, if you went for a healing build, I would have double the healing I have now. But I have done double of Tassadar, so that's something. I'm not Tyrande level of useless on the healing front. I'm not Tassadar level of useless. So I've done some stuff with my healing. Fortunately, Kel'Thas is just destroying us. Like, I talk all the time that Kel'Thas isn't overpowered. But in certain circumstances, he is overpowered. Like this one, we don't have anyone to deal with him. So he kind of has free reign to do what he wants. And Johanna is more than capable of making sure that stays true. So we just continually get run over in every team fight now because we can't get to their back line. Like, the heals aren't really a problem. It's the ability to deal with their assassins that's been a problem. Anyway, this Mule is not going to do too much for us, and I believe it goes down pretty immediately. Oh no, it stays for a little bit. Johanna does go and clean it up, and I'm able to come in here and secure that kill. Take down a Rhaegar, but they push too far, core is too low. This is not really a winnable situation that we're in. The only way we could win from here is by all-inning their core right now, and that would require us not dying first. Kel'Thas putting in that large amount of damage. Goes down to 2% from the Asmodon dunk, and he is moving in to finish this. He blinks over. 2% left. Tassadar shield will protect it, but there's only one thing we can do. It's all in their core, and we need to do it now. Now, I thought that everybody was going, but apparently not everybody goes. Not everybody agrees that this is the right course of action. We do have the mules working for us, so that is something to consider. Like, going mines may have been correct. But Gazlo moves in bottom, and the rest of the team moves in top. This is very important because that's a person missing to DPS down their core. Gazlo finally moving in to do some damage, but it's not enough. If we had Gazlo from the beginning, we might have had enough damage to secure it. I've just been here throwing out damage and healing as much as I can. Yeah, Sylvanas was, as you can see, having a little bit of a bad day. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sylvanas, we let you down. As you can see by the time of this video, this is going to be the end for us. We got 2 up, 3 down. They have all down. Plus they have the mines that they can go into. But they're not going to wait for that. They're not going to let some golem do their job for them. They just walk up here, burn everything to get as close as possible, as fast as possible, and take down the core. Damage Malfurion. If you want to play it in pug settings, get used to this. Get used to that. You're going to see it a lot. Basically, if you want to run this build and have it be somewhat viable, run it with friends. Run it with friends that know exactly what you're doing. Still is able to put out a lot of damage, but Kel'Thas with 132,000 damage. He won the game. The build, Harmony, so you can have lower healing, Vengeful Roots, spawns a Treant, more damage. Mule, that's mostly for the map. Twilight Dream, it's more damage all the way. Full Moonfire, bigger area, lower cost. Lunar Shower, more damage, less cooldown. Quintessential for the build. And Nightmare for the slow. That's going to be it for this video. Till next time.